Hi, welcome to my channel, Warbow KTB Archery. This week again, we're in a pursuit of the weight training. So I've got four bows here with me today. I've got the 80-pound Monarq, Daylite Monarq, which came out measured at 99 pounds at 32. I've got the 85-pound, oops, well the light's a bit, 85-pound YMG, which came out when I measured to 104 pounds at 32 inches, and I've also have the 95-pound YMG. So after trying to draw the Fenwick longbow fully and failing, I think I need to work a lot more on my strength, and I think by the time I can pull the 95 YMG, I should be strong enough to work on the longbow. The draw curves are different. KTBs I think, are generally more of a kind of S curve, so they're quite sort of forgiving at the beginning of the draw curve, and they only sort of steep in power right to the end. Some people call it stack, but for me, it's just like the natural end of how much you can pull. If you didn't have that sort of steep curve at the end, you might just overdraw the bow and break it. But the KTB will tell you when it's had enough, and that's good enough for me. With the longbow, I think it has a far more sort of straight line, sort of a steeper curve from beginning to end. So there's no kind of forgiving dip in the middle. And whereas in theory it should be more or less the same as my 85 YMG, in practice it feels a lot harder to get there, because I have to do a lot more. I'm pulling more weight earlier on in the draw curve. So whereas I'm used to down here to be holding 100 pounds, with the longbow I need to be drawing 100 pounds near my a few inches shorter, and that means that everything else is steeper at the beginning. So I'm going to do a bit of practice again. I'm on sort of my usual target at the end. I might change. Can you see that at the end? Where's it gone? Yeah, around there. I might change that for the bottle, or might not. At the moment I'm not sort of looking for accuracy, but I do want to control. I want to draw the heavier bows, and I want to control the shot. So accuracy, sort of, if I can get accurate, then it means I'm controlling the shot. So just going to set up and then do a bit of warm up with the 80-pound Monarq, and then move up to the other bows. And just to be sure, I've got the Fenwick longbow there, sort of ready for action. So if I feel able, I'll bring it out and shoot it, depending on how I do with the 95. So right, let's start with the 80. Right, so I've set up the bottle. Got the 80-pound Monarq. Going to do a bit of warming up. I haven't shot anything yet. I've just stretched my back a bit. So I'll warm up with the Monarq. In terms of arrows, today I have the Warbow arrows, just in case. I've got the old 250 spine arrows with the 350 grain points. And this one, the blue one, I've only got one blue of these. Oh no, I've got two blue. No, one blue of these. This has got the 6mm fluted beach dowel inside of it. So this is a heavy arrow. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think it was in the 900 grain kind of ballpark. It feels a lot heavier than the other ones. I shot it a bit last week. It didn't break, didn't come apart. I thought maybe the knock might pop off or something, but it's been quite, it's been okay. The only problem though is that the flight is a bit, it's a bit unstable flight wise. So I might record a few shots in slow motion just to see what's happening with this arrow. I thought it might be a solution to having a heavy arrow, just sticking in the wooden dowel, but it might be that I need to test different point weights with it. At the moment, it's the FOC is kind of in this area, so about not too far. I don't know. I need to measure the FOC as well with different point weights and see what happens. Or maybe I just need to go to a higher spine. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'll shoot this one. So this is 250 grain. Sorry, 250 spine plus the dowel, 350 grain points, 32 shaft. And these ones are 33 shaft, 300 grain arrows, and they're about 600 odd grain in weight. Bit worse for wear than I've had them. And I've got the fast knocks at the end, the chunky ones. So that's what I'll be shooting today. And like I said, I've got the bottle set up as a target, so to spare the punishment on the other regular target face that we have. So anyway, so let's start. So I'll just be shooting the red arrows for now, all the red arrows, and keeping in mind some of the tips that people have been kind to provide. One of them was to draw above the brow before coming down, so I need to sort of do a bit more of that. I've been looking at some of Gao Ying stuff as well, some warbow stuff, so I'm just mixing and matching and probably not even doing everything I should be doing. But anyway, let's make a start. So starting high, and I'm also a bit scared because about this time last year, actually, with the 75 YMG, I was doing the high draws, and it kind of and I got a shoulder impingement because the angle was all wrong. So on this one, I need to start a bit sort of not further than here. Yeah. I need to make sure that I don't impinge my shoulder again. So the last thing I want to do is to injure myself. So, right, okay. And I apologize for the breathing. I've noticed that in some of my videos, it's these microphones are just very, very sensitive. I'm at a loss as to where to put them. If I put them anywhere in my chest, they're liable to ping off with a bowstring. I've tried them on my collars, and then sometimes they rustle too much. So I put them on my hat, but even then, that's they're a bit too sensitive. So apologies for any heavy breathing. The heavier the bow gets, the more heavy breathing I do, sadly. I'm not getting any younger. Oh, and yeah. Also, it's winter. I've got a bit of a cold, so sniffle nose as well. So anyway, back to shooting. Well, that hit the bottle, and then I think a feather flew off from the arrow again. Oh. I think to warm up, I shouldn't have started with a 33-inch shaft. But anyway, here we go. That's hit the bottle as well, just glancing blow, just on top of the first shot. Oh, that's hit the bottle, and it's gone through, I think. Bottle did a... Oh, and I'm using my cheap brass thumb ring. This was about £10 on AliExpress. And if in doubt, these ones have always done me well. I know people say that they're not very good, But for me, they've been fine. I'm kind of loath to spend more money on a thumb ring when this one's worked so well for me. I want to get some more wooden ones from Korea, but I'm loath to try out sort of different styles of thumb rings. I'd rather stick to Korean thumb rings for Korean bows. But I know this is not, strictly speaking, a Korean thumb ring, but it kind of works for this kind of weight. And this is the 21 size, and it's fitting me quite well. I've got a 20 size that doesn't fit me anymore. It used to, and a 22 that, you know, sometimes when my thumb gets swollen, it fits. But the 21 seems to be working fine at the moment. Oh, that's another hit on the bottle. Oh, you know, sometimes I worry that I'm messing around too much and not actually getting any better in accuracy. But the less I worry about it, the better it gets, it seems sometimes. And the more I try and score, the worse my accuracy gets. So I think that's a head thing. Oh, that's a bit low, but it hit the stick. Right, one more and see a change in bows. So let's have a look. That's not too bad. Pretty much got them all in a straight line. Oh, ground's a bit uneven here. Going on. Right. So the bottle's been a bit shaken about, but all these on the same line. It's just the height that's slightly different. So considering I'm my main concern is going left and right, I'm quite happy that these are sort of more or less in the same plane. Right, let's reset. Right, so here we go with the 85 YMG. I really like my 75 YMG. On that one I had the curve back and the birch bark, and the weight was really nice for me. Felt really good. This one is basically the basic model YMG. So it has a flat back and it has this kind of fabric imitation birch bark, which can get a bit dirty if you look at this kind of end. And the finish is not as good as on the other version with the birch bark. The birch bark had whipping in this area. This has got like a leather kind of arrow pass on both ends. And on this side I had to tape it down because the glue was the leather was overlapping, the glue wasn't very good, and it kept peeling off a bit. So every now and then I'd catch it on my pinky finger and it just didn't feel good. It's the same with the 95. So this one I got a black belly, on this one I chose the yellow belly. That's the two options you get with YMG. So I haven't shot this in a few weeks, so it is stronger than the Monarch. So we'll have a go and see. So again, I'm using the red arrows with the heavier points. Oh, and the strings are considerably tighter as well. I don't even know I can. Oh, I'm gonna have to rethink this. I got rid of the old knocks that I had when they split and dry fire the YMG, and I replaced them with these knocks. Well, they've gone in, but they're really tight. So let's see whether that has an effect on arrow flight. And I got these, they're a bit chunkier, but these string, this is I think 32 strand string, so it is quite extreme compared to the normal knock that you can buy in shops. Okay, 85 YMG. Okay, that's gone in better. So yeah, that's gone a bit to the left. First shot. That's next to it. I think I need to. That's the thing with these bows. I think each bow has a kind of different, slightly different aim point. And once you get used to shooting one bow, as soon as you pick another one, it just kind of doesn't seem to go where it needs to go. So let's try again. I'm still aiming for the bottle, but I've gone twice, slightly to the left and slightly too high. Try again. Oh, that hit the bottle. I'm just going to shoot 5 of these, the 4 Fletch arrows. I've only got 5 left. That's gone with the first lot. And now for the last one. Oh, and that's gone through the bottle. So let's have a look. Well, that's interesting. So this is interesting. So these are first, second, and fourth arrow, I think. They've all kind of gone to this side. This is the heavy arrow. The heavy arrow has gone to the right. And then this last arrow has gone through the bottle, dislodged it completely, turned it upside down. And that was a direct hit. So yes, that was interesting. And the blue one, completely separate from the other ones. So maybe the weight is affecting how they shoot. Right, let's try the 95. So now try the 95. On this one you can see here what I mean about the leather not being very well fitted. A bit better on this end, a bit tighter, but on this one it's coming loose. So I had a bit of tape there just to protect the arrow pass. I haven't really shot this bow too much. I'm hoping that I might notice a difference today. But the last time I tried to shoot it, it was really heavy for me. It kind of hit a wall with this one, in a similar way to I'm hitting a wall with the oh come on, with the longbow. Right, okay, here we go. This is what I'm training for. And as far as I know, this is like the heaviest commercial KTB that you can get on the market. Other than, you know, YMG sells them up to 95. I think Daylite sells KTBs up to 90, 95 as well. Most other brands only sell KTBs up to 60. There is an option for extra weight, but you have to pay extra. So, but generally 60 is the normal limit. So I'm quite limited for heavy KTBs. So trying the YMG anyway. Oh. So yeah, there's a big step between the 85 and the 95. I might need to get a 90 to bridge that gap. Previously, I've been like going up, in 510s. I did a 15 jump between the 60 and the 75, the 60 Cheonji and the 75 YMG, and that was manageable. So from that, I thought, well, but there is a big step between the 85 and the 95. Okay, let's try again. Oh, I can feel a pain coming down this arm, which is unusual. I don't normally feel a pain here. Just down this muscle tendon. I'm going to take a break. I am back. I've had a little break. Done a little bit of shooting with the 85. Sorry, the 80 and the 85. Tried a Mediterranean with the 80 as well. TLDR, I don't like it. I don't like Mediterranean. But I'll have to. That's something I need to get used to. So I shot the 80. Okay, I shot the 85, and I could feel that pain coming down this arm again. So I'm not gonna risk it anymore, and I'm not gonna shoot the 95 again today. I'm probably not gonna shoot the longbow either. So I'm gonna do some gentle practice with the 80. The 80 is now at the edge of my comfort zone. The 75 YMG that dry fired, that was in my sweet spot just before I died. The 80 Monarq was slightly too high, but it's right on the edge of my comfort zone. So I think I just need to sort of invest more time shooting the Monarq, bring that sort of level of closeness to the edge a bit further down until I'm more comfortable with it, and then sort of try and come back to the 85 and 95. The longbow might need to wait a bit more. I mean, it's still early days, it's still winter, so once the days get a bit warmer, today is about 10, 11 degrees, so it's warmer in the sunshine, but as soon as you hit a shadow, it kind of temperature drops a bit, so I'm still not 100% warmed up. So, but I don't want to injure myself, so I'm just going to shoot a bit more with the Monarq. So far, I've been quite happy with the results. So yeah, okay. That's 2 hits on the bottle. Three hits on the bottle. This is the heavy arrow. I need to glue this fletch again. Last shot. Now hit the bottle. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye bye.